last week there was much ado made about pudding. Dusty's alleged bias against McCormick kind of spilling into the media, something about, four anonymous sources, telling Chandler Rome that Dusty had an issue primarily around Chas McCormick's weight. And look, players pretend like they don't see or read this stuff or hear about it, even though they're asked about it in post-game scrums. But do you think this Dusty Chaz kind of controversy is kind of creeping into the team morale?
I get what you're saying, and I think it would be silly to say absolutely positively no way. But the days they score 11 runs and win, are they feeling good about things? And then the next day, let me contemplate, boy, Dusty does some doofy stuff, and let's powder our way through a 1-run, 4-hit loss. I just think in the end, it's performance, and banana puddings become this crazy story. Just like to me, this batter's eye is a nonsense story. But I will quote the late and legendary Hall of Fame catcher and quipster Yogi Berra, who once said, among other things, 90% of this game is half mental. So would that make the game 45% mental? Creatures of habit, anything that throws off your routine. If you have any sort of small seed of doubt sown, can that germinate and grow? I just think ultimately the Astros have not played good enough ball to distance themselves in this division.
Yeah, I was thinking the other day just how much I miss Luis Garcia. Imagine if you had a healthy Luis Garcia, just somebody you could count on to go out there and keep you in the game for 5 or 6 innings. And you don't have to worry it's going to be 5-0 when you blink an eye. They just don't have a lot of that right now. And with Verlander not being Cy Young Verlander, you don't have that to lean on either. So I think a lot of it's the pitching. And they've been this team all year. I'm going to go sweep you, and then, we're going to get swept by the Yankees, and then we're going to go sweep the Rangers, and then we're going to get swept. I mean, it's just every time they gain a little ground, they tend to give it back. That's what inconsistent teams do. Let's just hope, when the playoffs get going, that they'll be good to go. But, I mean, I'm sure it plays a factor. If I'm one of the guys on the team and I'm looking over at Chaz and we need offense and he's not playing very much, or at least not as much as I would like, that would bother me. The one thing I've noticed as a positive is that Chaz and Brantley had not really been playing in the same lineups together, hardly at all. I'm seeing more of that now. So I'm hoping that that's something that'll continue. Just please trust Chaz a little more in center field. I mean, they let him play right field the other day. Trust him in center field. If you're so worried about his arm and you're playing him in right field, I think you can play him in center. So I think Dusty, he does his things in the regular season and then he makes adjustments in the postseason, but we're down to, there's no wiggle room anymore. You got to put your best lineup out there every day and try and win ball games.
2 quick follow-up points. One, the Astros, they're on the plus side of inconsistent, right? They're on the good side of inconsistent. And we can say a lot of the same stuff about the Rangers, about the Mariners, right? Mm-hmm. Seattle, the whole first half of the season, 500 almost every other game, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, then take off for a while, and then they go and they lose 2 out of 3 to the Mets. Now, the Dodgers are really good, but at home, sellout crowds, and Seattle lays 3 eggs and loses. Right? The Astros, in the eyes of many, left the Rangers for dead with that 3-game demolition in Arlington, and then the Rangers lose the first game against Oakland. Maybe they are dead. And then they win 6 in a row. A massive 4-game sweep at Toronto. And then they go lose 3 at playing out the string Cleveland. Right? This kind of stuff happens to most teams, and the Astros aren't a great team like Atlanta. Baltimore and Tampa Bay are obviously, and by a pretty good distance, the 2 best teams in the American League this season. Doesn't mean that the Astros or the Rangers or the Mariners or the Twins or the Blue Jays or whoever's in the playoffs, 3 out of 5, then 4 out of 7 will have every chance to take down the Orioles or the Rays. But the Astros, at best, are the 3rd best team in the American League this year.
I guess that's what's frustrating about it is you feel like that partially the reason why the Astros are in this situation is because the Rangers and the Mariners are not taking care of business on their end. Josh mentioned missing Luis Garcia. I miss Christian Javier, and he's on the team. He's just not the same Christian Javier that we're used to. But I think part of it, I do wonder if some of the confidence can be, how how would I say this, weakened on a team just because you know that your manager's not necessarily putting the team in a position to succeed. Jose Abreu has been awful for every month but one. He's still like at times hitting in the cleanup spot. I know that's, on a getaway day, but whatever. And then, you're seeing Chas McCormick hitting as low as 8th. The guy who's probably, the fourth best hitter on this team right now, hitting all the way in the 8th spot. Now, granted, I will say on the flip side of that, the value is, boy, your lineup is deep.
Derelict, duty, dusty, dumb on a couple of things. As you mentioned, lengthening the batting order is one thing. Hitting Abreu 5th with McCormick 8th, Yiner 9th sometimes, that's just stupid. But I will say, Yordan Alvarez, Jose Altuve, Kyle Tucker, all significantly less productive at home this season than on the road. I have a hard problem putting any of that on Dusty as we try to figure out, well, why have the Astros been this steaming mediocrity turd at Minute Maid Park and by and large world beaters on the road? So a lot to it. In the end, they have the components to be a playoff team and then take their shot in October. Just don't blow it these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and to your point with the Chas Abreu thing, it's so glaring when you're watching it as a fan, because how many times does Abreu get up with the bases loaded, and it's so, the eye test is just ugly. He's down 0-2 immediately and calling timeout. I mean, how many times have you seen that happen this year? So it's just, you feel like that's more avoidable. Move Chas up in the lineup, let him have some of those at bats, and to go along with that, how many times do you see Maldi come up with the bases loaded? It's just, I'm sure the perception is more than it actually happens, but it happens so often, it really does make you question Dusty. Like, what are we doing here?
There are things that he just disregards logic. Anytime they're down in the 5th or 6th inning, a day where Yiner is on the bench, Maldonado comes up, don't just wait till the 9th inning. Hey, Yiner, go up and try to be a hero against the closer. You have a runner in scoring position, or it's a 2-1 game in the 6th inning, right? Sure, every once in a while, Maldi will hit a home run or come up with a hit or do both in the same game. Every once in a while, it's about body of work. It's about general expectation. And whether it's the World Series champions trying to defend their crown or a Little League team, the worst kids bet at the end of the lineup.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
We'll end it there. Another episode of Stone Cold Stros in the books. If you enjoyed the show, please be sure to give us a 5-star rating wherever you get your podcast. Charlie, Josh, and I will catch you next week, but you don't have to wait that long to get your Houston sports fix. All you have to do is subscribe to Sports Map Houston on YouTube, and John Granado, Lance Zerline, Josh will have you covered there. Remember, go subscribe to @SportsMap Texans. That's our new Texans channel. And if you're listening on podcast, go catch us on your favorite podcast provider, our new podcast, Texans on Tap. Please give us a subscription there. The three of us bring that show to you every week, and we do appreciate your support there. Thanks to Jack Brame for producing the show behind the scenes, and thanks to everyone for listening. And until next time, go Stros.